Okay, good evening, everyone. How are you today?
Good.
Good?
Be great.
Why? Good. Woo! Vamos, we got up there energy today. I know that this day is a little bit humid. We are swimming today, and the energy down a little bit, but we have to up. And we are up for our knowledge. And I also thank you to you to be here and on time. I am so happy for you. I want to say thank you to Rick to accept this invitation, and also I want to say thank you to Levago to give this space. I want to talk. I want that you talk here.
It will be
Please,
very
go
quickly.
here.
I won't bother you.
Marta or Levago?
We're gonna dive right into the interesting part, but I just wanted to quickly present myself and Vagon for those of you who are maybe not familiar and it's your first time here. So I am Marta. I am the PR and events manager for Vagon Lisbon, and I work here with our city manager Francisco. And for those of you who are not familiar, Vagon is the global leader in immersive tech and AI training. And our mission is to train people from all walks of life, such as you. So people that are coming from different backgrounds, want to be digital nomads, freelancers, entrepreneurs. And our mission is to train them in tech, specifically in web development, data science, data analytics, and AI. And yeah, we have a cherished community of over 27,000 graduates in Lisbon that have created over 200 tech startups and raised over $1 billion. But yeah, I won't bore you more with this. I will give the word to Rick right after thanking, of course, Jamil so much for this event and this collaboration. We really appreciate to have your community with us, and to Rick for being here and guiding the session today. Let's learn everything about SEO and how to rank with AI.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I see some new faces here a little bit. I've been talking to some of you at the entrance, and of course, I see some people here who are also learning and developing, wanting to learn about SEO. So let's begin with the agenda of this presentation. We're going to be starting with a small introduction. Who am I, and what company do I work for? We're going to take a deep dive into what is AI search exactly, as there might be some confusion. There's a lot of things moving. So a clear definition of what it actually is, and why should you care? You know, like as a marketeer, as people who own a business, why is it becoming important? And then, of course, the most important thing is actually talking about the key findings and some actions, sharing some actions that you can actually implement in your current marketing strategy. So really excited to be here, and looking forward to share the knowledge. A little bit about myself. So I work for a company called Team Lewis. We're a global integrated marketing agency, which means, which is just a fancy word for we do PR and digital marketing together. These are kind of the brands that we work with. Maybe you recognize a few. I'll just have you have a little look. Yeah. Before we start, I think you already broke the ice, but I want to acknowledge some people today. Of course, the organizers, Jamil. What a coincidence that I met you on a random event in WordCamp, Le Wagon. But I also like to thank some people from the Lisbon SEO community, as they are also here to represent, and thank you for your support. And for the people who are starting their career as an SEO, I really encourage you to look further. I've also had mentors myself, and this has been crucial in my development. I really take it as a sort of recommendation. You can always learn something new from someone else, as you will see that SEO is not just trying to rank your website, it's much more than that. So Also, starting a career in SEO, platforms like Growth Mentor are really good for this, but also in the community, you can always reach out, and there's always people there to mentor you. So what is AI search exactly? So let's take a look at a little bit of the timeline of what's been going on. So these are a little bit a summary of the highlights of the past 2 years. Of course, we have some key players here. We have Google in a sort of battle of survival. They are currently, of course, the major search engine. We also have the challenger, OpenAI. We have Microsoft and some new players. Some highlights here is that the race is on. You know, you can kind of compare it with a space race. All the players know that there's a similarity between what happened with BlackBerry and the telephone sector. There, BlackBerry had like the market dominance, and Google is very aware of this. It's very likely, it's possible that Search GPT, which is actually coming out very soon, might be considered as the Google killer. So this is really, Google is very aware of this, and you can see in the timeline with the introduction of Bard, actually also Google losing $100 billion with a fatal mistake of the James Space Webb telescope with their platform, and then the actual rebranding of their AI into actually what we are now seeing as the AI overviews. In a similar situation, Microsoft is also collaborating much with OpenAI. But they are also seeing them as a sort of competitor, and here we are seeing their tool called being rebranded into Copilot. So we have Google Gemini, Copilot. We also have OpenAI with their upcoming release of Search GPT. And we also have some new players here, tool AI platforms like Perplexity. So this is really important. Why have I added this? Because there's some Google Ads people here. And this is really interesting because at the end of this year, they are actually planning to launch ad opportunities for AI search platforms. So this is very something new, hasn't been done before. So very keen to see how other players like OpenAI, who have always claimed we don't want to ask payment, how they will react to this kind of situation. Not only is there a sort of AI search race, we can also see them actually sort of rushing for data banks. So the partnership with Reddit is really a big deal. What did Reddit get out of it? Look at the search rankings of Reddit, and they have been increasing for the last few months. So I believe they are very happy with the situation. For those who haven't seen Search GPT, I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. It hasn't been released yet, but it is currently in a beta version, and you can actually apply as a tester.
Similar to Perplexity, right?
So what is the difference exactly, and what is Search AI? We can kind of see some differences happening. We have like the classic search platforms like Google and Bing and so on, DuckDuckGo. We see a sort of fusion between the two. So I believe that most search engines now are actually jumping on the bandwagon. So it's the search engine plus a sort of AI summary of what's being searched. And we actually also see pure AI platforms that are whether or not linked to databases or the actual web. So these are like the three big differences. So why is it actually important? You know, like why should you care as a business or a marketeer? I guess this kind of sums it up. So this is very important. We could kind of see like the difference between the standard, SERP, what we're used to in Google, and variants. And we can also see here how it is changing. So in the top, we're seeing like these AI overviews. They are kind of taking let's call it the search engine real estate. So over here, you got way down the organic results. So this is really bad news, of course, for everyone who is in the world of SEO. I think I see Fernando already nodding about the shaky last 2 years. So yeah, very stressful situation for marketeers. But we also see paid ads. There's also something happening. So let's have a quick look on what the changes are exactly. So for those who haven't seen it yet, this has fully been released in the US. In Europe, it's slowly coming. So this is actually generative AI, or the AI overviews. So it's very similar to ChatGPT, where you're asking it a question and it summarizes the data for you in the best way that it can. So it doesn't always trigger, but sometimes now it does. And also Google is very careful now after the whole, how you call it, the situation that happened with Bard. So they're avoiding situations where, of course, they're going to lose more money on these kind of stupid things. For paid ad experts, the question is, how does that look like? This is one of the possibilities. Actually, AI integrated with paid ads. Very interesting. There's different forms of this. This is one of the forms. So I see some worried faces. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. To give you like an idea, why is it important? Because this basically means that search will never be the same. There's no turning back. AI is here to stay. And like I said, every major search engine has their own version of some AI integration. It impacts search paid ads. And we can see that it is actually becoming a completely new source medium. We have search, Google, and so on. And this is actually starting to grow a lot in the past few months. So a lot of people have the impression that AI is a sort of black box. It is quite true, but we can also peek into the box. And I invited someone here today to talk about this in a minute. But thank you also for helping me with the presentation. Jan is an AI dev. He has been working on a tool. And we've been experimenting and researching the black box, and we'll share with you today some of the insights that we got from those experiments. So what are the key findings? Let's begin first with the research that's been done that is public, and then we'll move on to the research that we've done ourselves. So this is data from SE ranking. I don't know if you know this, but some of the traditional SEO tools are also starting to change. They are integrating AI, and I believe that SE ranking so far is ahead of the race when it comes to that. They have actually successfully implemented a sort of tracking tool for AI search. Some interesting things here. We have real estate in the bottom. Don't ask me why it hasn't been really visible yet in AI, but maybe you have an answer. I don't know.
Myself, though,
yeah.
You should have real houses, so you cannot make that, right?
Yeah, that's true. Some more logic things, I guess. Healthcare. This one here. It makes sense, like it's talking about things that could be dangerous if it's not accurate, So it makes sense that Google is very careful. But what we are seeing over the past few months, is actually the amount of keywords that are being triggered by AI search have doubled in the last 3 months. So Google is actually, this kind of means that Google is getting more confident about their AI overviews. They're starting to show it more. We can see that in this research by SE Ranking, they studied around 100,000 keywords. And around 14% right now are being triggered by AI overviews. The top ones, don't ask me why, relationships is the #1 thing. I guess if you have any relationship issues, you should probably consult the search engine. Food and beverages, for some reason, it's also one of the top, business and technology. So if you are in these branches, you're in for a ride. Let's have a look how it impacts paid search. So we saw earlier on that the position of paid search in these AI overviews are kind of like they're not knowing what to do with them exactly. Also because Google's 80% of Google's revenue is actually from paid ads. They would never shoot themselves in the foot. So here we can actually see something interesting. Around 55% of these text ads are appearing under the AI overviews. So this is a bit of an interesting move, you know, like because you're probably paying a lot. We also noticed that cheaper keywords, so if you're paying like a low CPC, cost per click, that they are more likely to actually appear in the AI searches, in the AI overviews. And it seems that from this research that they conducted, the longer that your word is, the more chance it gets triggered by AI. So here also an increase, we can see clearly that it's also going up and down. So this is a little bit of how it looks when it's integrated with AI. So this is just one example of e-commerce. Someone who's trying to sell some watches. So yeah, this is a little bit of an answer of how AI is kind of adapting like the search environment. So let's begin a little bit talking about, you know, that's the main point of today's presentation, I guess, is to the goal of today is that you can go away with some key actions and that you can already start implementing in your marketing strategies. I didn't want to bombard everybody with graphs and numbers and so on, so I decided to pick a little case study. This one is a client that we're working with. It's called BirdBuddy. So it's quite a funny product. It's essentially like a birdhouse with a camera in it. It's not more than that. You can actually take a picture of the bird visiting the birdhouse, and you can even send a sort of postcard to whoever you want. So it tells you what birds are arriving. So today's case study is about this. I feel like it's a fun topic, right? So the first thing that you can do is very simple. It's actually kind of a variant of just Google yourself. Here it's the same thing that we actually applied. We reverse engineered sort of the searches that are happening in ChatGPT with the goal to actually find the sources, like where is it getting, how is it making this top 10 list? You know, like here I asked the question, what are the top global integrated marketing agencies? And I'm very happy that Team Lou is on this list. Otherwise, I would get probably scolded by my boss. But she was happy with this screenshot. So this is a little inside joke for the old school SEO people here. NAP is back. So name, address, telephone, websites. This is really old school SEO. This is like a trick I don't know, like in the 2000s where people wanted to place their company name as many NAP sites as possible. We're seeing that the majority of this list, besides a few exceptions, are also NAP sites. But doing this approach actually, I don't want you to try to rank yourself in 100 NAP sites. Try to find out in Perplexity and ChatGPT which ones are always coming back. As you're going to notice that there is actually a trend. And maybe there's something behind that curtain. So here we actually found out that DesignRush listed us on their page. So luckily this was a free directory website. But as you know, a lot of websites these days actually charge you money to be listed on their page. So how did we do this with BirdBuddy? We did the same thing, and we actually discovered something very interesting. Perplexity does, the reason why I recommend Perplexity is that it actually automatically gives you the sources. Right now, ChatGPT doesn't really do this. You have to prompt it, you have to ask it, hey, where did you get this information from? And half of the time, it's very hesitant in giving you the actual information. But Perplexity is a little bit different. What I noticed here is that it does give you 7 more sources. But when you actually study the information, when you go through the sources that it gives, it actually picks only 1 or 2, really. So if you had to allocate your budget for AI, for being visible, more visible in AI, this already gives you a sort of scope that you can work with. It gives you a selection of which websites really matter. So it's the same situation in every niche. If you're in real estate or if you're in e-commerce or tech, you will find out that some websites reappear a lot more than others. Very interesting here as well, that the websites that are doing well in Google also are appearing a lot more in AI search. You will never see anything, and this is also from the research from SE Ranking, everything that is outside of the top 20 will not be even mentioned in AI search, at least for the time being. Also, a bit of a disclaimer, whatever I say today might change tomorrow because AI is changing a lot, but these are the findings so far. Another thing you can actually do, I also recommend this also in a sort of in a traditional SEO campaign is to actually talk to your customers, find out the pain points. If you know this, then you know what to actually try to write about. The way search is being used now is very different. You're asking it questions. I remember Jan was telling me a story about his grandma, and his grandma was typing a question in, and he told his grandma, that's not how Google works. But we are also sort of conditioned to know that Google works in a certain way. And this is kind of interesting because it's kind of going back to learning to use search in a very different way. It's very conversational and so on. So yeah, learning the pain points and then starting with the topic ideation. A lot of SEOs I see these days are just starting with the keywords and not really thinking further. So becoming a lot more important in AI search. Here's an example of how we did the BirdBuddy case study. Here they have a very specific problem, and that is that in birdhouses the birds are competing with the squirrels. And apparently there's a lot of, this was one of the major pain points from this client, was that it was revealed that the squirrels and the cats are actually sort of stressing out the people with the birdhouses. So we did a keyword research, and it turns out that there is a a lot of volume here when it comes to bird feeders, how to keep squirrels away from bird feeders. Do squirrels eat birds? You know, like these are very pressing concerns for the owner of a birdhouse. And then so the procedure is as following, very similar to SEO. Interview the sales team to actually uncover what the pain points are. Do keyword research. There's so many keyword research tools. These are just a few of them. Create content addressing the pain points. And then finally, this is what we're really gonna investigate. And that is audit the content for AI overviews. So this is actually where our research actually came in. A little bit about the results. We were able to, by auditing our content, we were able to place our squirrel blogs in the AI overview. So very happy with the result, and also the client didn't know anything about AI search. This was just an extra that we could show, you know. What I do have to say is that there is actually a new danger, and that is a phenomenon happening that we're seeing in the past year. It's called the zero-click phenomenon. The problem with ChatGPT and AI search engines is that if you ask the information, people won't actually click on your website anymore. So more about this in a minute. So let's talk about our research. So very happy that Jan reached out. I'm going to give him the word about, here's the clicker.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rick. So again, my name is Jan. I'm an AI engineer and founder. I'm currently working on a project called Search Attention for AI search optimization. And so a lot of people think that Gen AI and AI models are like black boxes, right? And just these magic is boxes, we put some prompt in and we get some response and nobody knows how. And that's actually not true. We actually can know a bit more about how the AI actually sees content. And in the next two slides, I'm going to show you how Rick and I did that for the Bird Buddy case study. So how does that work? So we took the website of the blog, so 5 tips to keep the squirrels off your bird feeder. And we used the search intent that Rick analyzed before. And what we then did is basically we used the Google model to generate an AI response. So far, nothing new. But using this AI response, we can generate a heat map. And the heat map basically shows us what the AI pays attention to. So that looks like this, basically. So this is the content of the website. It's actually not everything, so there's more on that. And basically it shows you what the AI looks at and what it doesn't look at. And the first thing that you can already notice is that score here, 80, that's a semantic relevancy score. So the AI model actually knows if that content is relevant at all or not, right? So from a semantic point of view. The next thing we noticed, basically, is that AI completely ignores some paragraphs, okay? So we have seen these paragraphs here, and there were some more that didn't fit on the slide here, but basically the AI didn't look at them at all, so completely ignored them. And if you dive deeper into this, you can actually see that it's like content that's just filling, you know, just putting words and stuff, but like the real things are here. Another thing we noticed, like on different analysis we did, was basically that the AI always looks at the first paragraph. So even if it's not like very relevant to the search intent, it always looked at this, you know. And here we have like parts of the header basically of the navigation bar, and then like the title or the first thing. So one thing we can already conclude is basically that the first paragraph is something that you should pay attention to. Another thing is the AI knows which content is relevant. So if you would analyze this website and do your own response to this, you would get to the same conclusion. So the AI knows perfectly where the relevant parts of the question are. And one thing, AI seems to love bullet points. We've seen that also in the perplexity analysis. So yeah, if you put a lot of bullet points, you can basically trick the AI. I'm not sure how long that will last, but we noticed that. Yeah, so I think that was it. So for my part, so thank you, Rick. I'm very interested in beta tester for this tool. So if you are interested learning more, come back to me later on. I will be here afterwards. So back to Rick.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to be sharing some invitation codes for the AI search tool and the community itself. So Jan is actually starting something, very interesting stuff, and yeah, thank you also for allowing me to test the tool. What can we take away from this? We already implemented some changes. Very interesting thing that Jan noticed is that the first paragraph is very important for AI for some reason. Who knows why, but you can already start to optimize your content in a certain way. I will be sharing the slides in the WhatsApp group. So this is a sort of template. You can actually use AI to optimize your content for AI, if that makes any sense. But using this, just copy paste that, put your text in it, and you already are a little bit more relevant for AI search. So just giving this as an extra tip. And also here we applied key takeaways. We also tested with adding a summary of your text in the top. This also works really well. Can definitely recommend it. So what are some key takeaways from this is that it is very different than traditional SEO where maybe the text length was very important in the past, now not so much. We can actually conclude that AI is not even bothering with the text length. It's much more interested if it's actually relevant for the query. Another safe bet recommendation here is, earlier on we were talking about zero-click. So top funnel keywords, very informational keywords. You have a risk that your click-through rate might not actually increase. So this is a big problem as you're probably also, if you're creating content and so on, a lot of resources and time and energy are going into this. You want people to actually go to your website, So what is a safe bet? Bottom funnel is always a safe bet. It means like your business keywords and so on. People, if they are interested in buying something, this is the type of pages you should really focus on, especially now with AI. So definitely a recommendation. So some examples here are just product review pages, customer reviews, case studies, and so on. Everything that is bottom funnel that answers the immediate buying need of the client should definitely be implemented in your AI and AI search strategy. And also this is very important. Brand is now taking center stage. So where before, I said it before, SEO is not just about website anymore. It is also about your brand. This is like a funny thing, what people think SEO is about. There's a lot of different aspects of SEO. Orange is what you can control. It's on your website. You can control the loading speed, the content, and so on. Pink is a little bit outside of that circle. I mean, it's external programs, or external platforms, is better said. Social media and so on. You still have this kind of your hand, but what is becoming more and more important is that AI is recognizing your brand and the importance of your brand. So Media appearances is something that you cannot really control. You can do things to be more cited on news websites or on different kind of product websites, but digital PR is becoming like one of the cornerstones in at least an SEO or AI search strategy. Who is this person? Aleda Solis. Maybe some of you recognize her. She's a prominent SEO expert. She is really good at personal branding. So here you can see what that actually looks like. So Google is very happy with her way of branding things. These are knowledge graphs. You can see Google practically knows, the only thing they don't know is where she lives. But what is also apparent from what happened earlier this year, there was a huge Google leak. And one of the most important things from the key takeaways from that leak is that brand has never been as important for your SEO strategy. So this is something that is confirmed from this leak. And if you're not working on your branding, on your business, then forget it for AI, you know? So very important. This is a very interesting figure. This guy is a black hat SEO speaker, so it means he does some really dodgy things. Every time he goes to a convention, you have 50% of the group actually who are there who really hate him. And 50% really love his out-of-the-box thinking. And here he actually did an example of how you can actually trick Google and other platforms into creating knowledge graphs for you. He wanted to prove a point that it's easier than you think. And so he applied for free to play a role as a cameo, as an actor in various films. And yeah, and it worked. So he actually got his listing on IMDb. You can actually claim it. Really fun stuff. Definitely someone you should follow on LinkedIn. Yeah, the result of that is that Google, I think he kind of added this as a sort of inside joke. So marketeer, entrepreneur, and actor. Yeah, pretty funny stuff. There are actually a lot of opportunities. People always think that link building, you have to pay for it. But here's a list that I want to share with you guys with over 100 sites that allow you to write as an author. It's some of the sites that you know it's maybe less than 5% chance of actually appearing on the site, but you do keep your author name, and this is how you build your knowledge panels. These are sites with real traffic, different kind of niches. So personal branding and brand recognition of your company is very important. And use some tricks. And then finally, the last point of today that I want to give to you, if you are using Google Analytics, this is how you can track your AI search traffic. So just a little explanation of how to actually build this report. Some of you might be familiar with regex. This is the regex code to actually apply that as a filter in your Google Data Studio. So this is sort of like a dashboard. You don't have to take pictures. I'm going to share it in the group. No worries. So yeah, also a very interesting thing that we are seeing also for the case study is that it's becoming more and more. So we're noticing that by our actions that we are taking, we're actually getting real traffic from ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, and so on. And this is sort of like an invisible layer, but you are able to see it if you apply these kind of things in your reports. Just a quick summary before moving on. So first of all, start by reverse engineering. Like actually look into the data sources if you have a certain brand. Are you being found? You know, that's a good question to ask. And then second, the pain points. know what your customers are looking for, because it's becoming more and more in the direction that queries are asked in questions. And then finally, if you have the chance to apply for a beta testing, do an AI overview audit of your content, refresh it, focus on bottom funnel keywords, make sure your brand is visible, and of course track your progress. There are, earlier on I mentioned that some SEO tools are adapting. I'm just going to show you a little bit. I'll show you in a few slides what that looks like. But I also wanted to share some resources with you guys, as I know there's some people here just starting their journey as an SEO. So I added here a complete SEO checklist. This is free to use. Why is AI a part of that? Because you can't deny that SEO isn't a part of AI search rankings. You have to be ranking well in SEO to also be ranking well in AI. So this is part of the plan. So yeah, SEO ranking, very interesting. They added a sort of beta tracking feature. Here you can actually investigate when certain keywords are entering AI or they're exiting it. So this is something you can use as a sort of benchmark. Are you actually visible for AI or not? They actually also show you what the competition is. So you can try it out for free. Yes, Jamil?
Rick, can you go to the last? I'm sorry if I interrupt you. About I use SEO. I use WordPress. I love WordPress because in my case, I position it very well, WordPress. But always I have this confusion. I use Yoast.
Joost, yeah.
But you have, how is better, Yoast, Rank Math, or SEO or more for WordPress?
Well, you're going to start a discussion here with the group, Jamil. Personally, I use Yoast, but I'm starting to realize that Rank Math is actually quite good. But what happened a few months ago, there was a sort of cybersecurity issue with Rank Math a few months ago. So I'm very careful on what to say, but I do prefer Rank Math because it has more features. Yeah, but Yoast is also equally, I love using Yoast.
SEO all for me working very well until they make some other features.
Yeah.
Other characteristics and they go down. But for me, for the best tool that I use on all my digital marketing life was SEO of all. After I used Randman, I was working very well, and now I am using Yoast.
Okay. Yeah, there are some features in Yoast that are really nice. It can AI generate meta titles for you automatically. This is something that Rank Math doesn't have. So there's pros and cons. That's really depending on, I hate to use the word, it depends, but that's like what SEOs like to use. So it depends on how you use it. It's just a matter of preference. But Rank Math has like features like structured data built in. So, but you can also use other plugins for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely try it out for free. If you have a website, the first thing you can do is just go to the website, enter it, and you can test keywords if you are found in AI or not. Very interesting tool. Myself, I use SEMrush, and I'm very sad that they don't have this feature yet. Then, of course, I also wanted to share Jan's tool. Very happy to test it. There's also a community called AI Search Optimization Group on LinkedIn. Be sure to check it out, as the latest news will be published there. And of course, here our little squirrel blog, very relevant now for AI. Very happy with the results, and also for multiple kind of queries. Jan, anything else you want to say about that?
No, it's good.
Also, what I wanted to share for some of the people starting their SEO journey, I'm adding a sort of SEO guide here. I use this for any client or to onboard any team members that are very new.
Do we get the slides later?
Yep.
Okay.
It will be shared. So yeah, from A to Z, how to do SEO. And then finally, thank you for your time. You've been an amazing audience. Very happy, very surprised and happy that there's so many of you. Let me know if you have any questions. We can always chat after the presentation. So